Hi, Francesca.
Oh my God, hello.
How are you doing today?
You have to give me the microphone. Nick and I are sharing a microphone because, as we were just discussing, we have to upgrade to more microphones, a bigger interface. Neither here nor there. So Nick and I are sharing. We're on with our friend M.
Hi, I'm M.
You guys, Nick, where are we?
Guys, it's actually really exciting because we are recording the first podcast from our new home. And as you listeners know or don't know, we have gotten a new place to live at the start of the new year. And it's this gorgeous little apartment in Frisco. But we've been here since the new year, but we've always been recording like underground wineries or at our friend's house and stuff like that. So we finally have our first podcast recorded on the place, and we're pretty excited about that. And we are excited to share it with you.
This is an iconic experience.
It is. We are sitting with some Carboy Winery wine that I just picked up.
So good.
We got Emma Sauv Blanc.
Love it.
Nick and I got an entire liter, a Carboy, if you will, of Pinot Noir. But we are sitting on our BBC, our big brown couch.
Love.
In the living room. You guys, we are like collecting pieces.
Iconic pieces.
Yes, we have. Everything is almost like it's
very
sculpture.
sturdy.
Yeah. Nick, what's the vibe of our apartment, would you say?
Okay, so our vibe, I was thinking at first like leather, fur, and wood. But then we have this like really awesome concrete, just straight up concrete coffee
insane.
table.
It's insane, you guys. You have to see it.
And how much do you think that weighs?
I've lifted it personally. So I would say like at least 75 pounds.
It's heavy. 75 pounds, a lot. And like it looks painful.
No, it's at least an Olsen twin.
At least in
Fully.
And so I was thinking maybe not like, it just looks like materials, leather, wood, concrete. So like artisans.
A lot of textiles going on.
Craftsmen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went with like the longer haired cowhide that's
Yes.
on the ground, because it's texture. It's not just a cowhide. This is a furry cow, which like Nick, the vegetarian, I'm like completely decorating our place in like half dead animals. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't feel too weird about like hide. At least it is like a material, like an organic material. I wear leather and everything like that, so I'm not too weird about it. But the moment you start putting taxidermy in the house, fuck off and go home.
Oh my God.
What about the duck?
What dog?
There's
Sebastopol, the taxidermy duckling.
yes, there's a taxidermy
Did you guys get a
duckling that
duck?
No, he's on hold for me.
At Vibes?
Yeah, at House of Vibes until he's ready to come home.
Oh.
Right now, he's sitting at his own miniature table full of miniature
Okay, that's
things.
new. I haven't seen that in person yet.
Yeah,
I saw
it's like a
that
small Tabasco
online.
bottle. He's got a small little cheese grater. He's sitting at a dining room table built for ducklings. I don't know.
Only Zach would come up with it.
There's a
Only
lot of
Zach.
things going. So you guys, our last podcast guest was our friend Zach Satchel, who owns House of Vibes.
He's one of my best friends. He is. You know what? I'll just take this one. He is
I love this.
probably like my ideal life partner. I just love everything about him. He's perfect.
It's true. So it just like followed that we were having Em on this week. Actually, Nick and I already recorded this episode, and we just like felt we needed a little bit of oomph. We were like, our energy was down the other night.
I'm here to keep the energy up.
Yeah. Well,
It was kind of like, fuck it, I don't like this. Okay. Well, you want to have Em on? Let's have Em on.
and first we text them. We're like, hey, let's come out of our home. We're going to get some takeout pizza. And like, let's just have like a nice little podcast recording.
And I was like, I'm there. That's it.
And then she gets a text message 30 minutes later.
We're going to sushi, bitch. Like,
We like text our friend who works at like the nicest sushi restaurant in town. And we're like, Sydney, can you squeeze us in? Because, we live in a tourist town and that you can't just like go to restaurants like close to the weekend. So we're like Mountain Flying Fish. We have a 5:30 res. We're treating you to sushi for being on the podcast.
I was like, take me wherever.
Yeah, which I mean, Nick goes, we should rename this podcast Vibes. I was going to be like, we really just like set the vibe.
Set the vibe. I was down for the pizza, but like we discussed, I'm glad we didn't do it because the dairy would not be sitting well with any of our tum-tums. So
no, that was kind of the thing. I was like,
our
I mean,
bodies thank us.
I could eat pizza. Well, M's gluten-free too, which is also how we bonded.
Yeah.
But I was like, we could eat a
gang.
yeah, gluten-free street gang. I was like, we could eat pizza, but then I'm going to take a nap. Like, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be high energy.
Like, this won't be fun.
No. So the theme of our podcast, we decided with our friend M, because M is going to hair school. She works at a hair salon. It's one of her passions. She's also a DJ, which we will get into later.
Yes.
All about it. Very along the theme of the last couple episodes of curating spaces.
Yes. Love a vibe.
But anyway, grooming
yes.
is a theme.
Important.
And Nick, what did we do this week?
Okay, so I had some friends in town and had a pretty crazy week. And then you know how when you go really hard in a weekend, you kind of have to have a day to like come down from it, but you can't just do nothing. You got to like come down by being a little out of control, but not all the way out of control. Mm-hmm. So we decided to have a boozy brunch and then go get manicures, but not just manicures. We're talking like acrylic tips in manicures. Mm-hmm. And so we did. And I've had a couple manicures. I've been painting my nails since like 2016, but I got tips. It was the first time I had tips. And Francesca, it was your first.
Tips.
Black tips. They were so long.
Oh, I've never had tips, Nothing.
Your tips were fire.
No.
The second I saw that photo, I was like, yo.
No, they were amazing. I was like, go big or go home. I've never even had acrylic nails in high school. My mom was just like not about them. She read an article once about the amount of fecal matter
Oh my
that people get under these. Like, I don't know. She read something about like a test. And ever since then, she's been anti.
She's like, no tips.
So I just never had them. And I was like, well, if I'm going to get them, I'm going to go kind of like full, like Ariana, Halsey. I feel like all the girls, the Kardashians have them. I'm like, I don't know. Let's do it. I might have like went a little too far.
No.
With the almond, with the almond shape. I loved them. And I actually told Nick, Nick, I think this is who I am now.
Do you really feel that way?
Now that they're all short and not there, I kind of feel like a farmer. I feel like not that girly. I don't know. I just felt it made me feel some type of way. I just felt fierce.
I don't feel myself because I currently have a bare nail. I normally have an incredible gel nail on, and I have nothing.
Nothing. You're no one.
And I'm just like drifting.
Just
confused.
sweatpants all day.
Sweatpants, loose.
You said you feel like a farmer. I actually, back when I was farming, I used to work in organic produce for like about 4 years.
I was going to say, when were you farming?
Yeah, I'm actually. It's actually kind of a crazy story. I've been a vegetarian my whole life, and then I got really into like, vegetarians always say that your food is more sustainable when it's vegetarian. And so I got really involved with sustainable food options. And then that brought me into the whole world of like growing my own food, organic agriculture, regenerative agriculture. I know. Yeah. So it's actually like I am only in the service industry for the past 2 years. And that was because my car broke down. My truck broke down. I used to drive a big black truck, actually, named Big Black. And I know, right? BB. And no, so my truck died. And so I couldn't really drive out to the farms I was working at. So I started serving at a taco shop, and the rest is history. But anyway, yeah, no, I would have my nails painted black. And it was actually kind of nice because even though they would get chipped, they also kind of hid the soil that was constantly lodged underneath my natural fingertips. Yep. And I also like really enjoyed the juxtaposition of one, being a gay farmer, but also to like kind of still, yes, my jorts were ripped, but they looked good.
Yep.
And like, hands in the dirt.
But like, we're serving an outfit. We're serving a look.
Look at this straw hat. I have a really nice straw hat.
No, Nick's like really into the straw hat, like, but for function, because he would farm for 8 to 10 hours a day in the sunlight. So he would need a hat. I didn't get it at first, but no. So Nick used to, and I don't know if we mentioned this on the other podcast. So Nick's an organic produce. He used to farm on rooftops of abandoned buildings all over St. Louis with Urban Harvest. And then they used all the produce, the hundreds and hundreds of pounds of organic produce to feed like food insecure residents of St. Louis.
I never knew this. I never knew this.
And then, so yeah, I started farming in Albuquerque. I started farming in St. Louis, but then also traveling around the world when I was in Asia and Europe. I started doing like worldwide opportunities for organic farming, otherwise known as woofing. And then that got me really into, it allowed me to travel while meeting people, while getting to know like kind of the countrysides of like villages. And also I farmed in every climate. Like I know what the fuck to do with banana trees. I've grown mangoes, I've grown kiwis, I've grown dragon fruit.
Oh my God.
Earlier I was telling Em, I was like, Nick, Em was like, you guys just need plants. And I was like, oh, don't worry. Like Nick used to have over 100 houseplants in his old place. And he was like, Francesca, we can, but like he was like, you don't understand. Like I get really into like plants.
Like I didn't realize. I thought it was just like a I love plants thing.
No,
I didn't
Nick,
realize it was like I fully am running the farm industry.
Yeah,
situation.
No, he's the plant daddy. And what did you say earlier? You created such an ecosystem in your old apartment.
I'll explain. So we were talking about like how house plants I get a little carried away with because I deeply care about plants. And I really know how to take care of plants and I really want them to thrive. It's to the point where I find house plants distracting because I will stop watching the TV and just stare at the plant because I'm serious. Like I used to go to bed thinking about mulch, like mulch.
That's specific.
It's very specific. I'm really into mulch, but anyway, so yeah, when I was living in St. Louis, and actually the neighborhood I lived in was right next to the Botanical Gardens. It's called Botanical Heights.
Plug.
And I had over like 150. No, it was probably. I think I remember it was 117 houseplants, and it got so bad that I got like certain types of gnats in the house. And I almost released spiders, like specific types of spiders into the house. But
no, thank you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't go too hard with too many plants.
Nick, have you ever thought about releasing a species of spider into the home that we share here?
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
I actually truly love spiders, but I don't want to live with. Don't look at me like that.
I don't.
I want to. No, I want to do it like I want a pet tarantula. But one, I don't like keeping wild things in cages. And two, if I own a tarantula, then I'm forever. Oh, who's Francesca? Oh, that girl with
tarantula
the spider.
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, tarantula girl.
Francesca, she has a tarantula.
For the rest of your life. Like that's what I would always be known as.
This is a winery. Keep your fucking pet tarantula. Keep it in Frisco, okay? Like.
Frissy. Club Frissy.
Keep your spiders out of work, you know. Oh my God. Because, hey guys, it's national.
I can have a winery dog, but I can't have a winery tarantula.
I don't want any animals in the winery.
Too late. Our manager, Dominica, just got a little border collie named Henry Ford. And he's a winery dog. He lives at the winery now.
Oh.
Can I say one thing about the farming thing? Okay, sorry. Now you just have me thinking about it.
Circling back. Per your last email.
I just wanted to touch up on something. No, so you would really appreciate this. It got to a point where it wasn't about farming. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about food anymore. Mm-hmm. We weren't growing produce. We were growing consciousness.
Oh my God.
And like, that's kind of the vibe that I was on about like, you know, what is the environment that we live in and how do we, you know, tend to it, garden, be the steward of like where we live. Level. I know. And that's kind of where that is. And so it's actually kind of been nice to remove myself from that and just be a server and stuff because, you know, I feel like
it gets heavy.
It does get heavy and you can change the world by planting a garden. And I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Well, in the summer, Nick, or can we have are we gonna have a little garden outside?
No, this is the thing. Like, I would love to, but
grabs the mic.
Just
so y'all know, grabs the mic.
I would love to have a garden, but you think I'm just gonna put like a plant outside and
We're
just
having an
water it
ecosystem.
sometime?
Yeah.
Hell no. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make that blossom and grow. And I want plants to shoot up like Jack and the Beanstalk.
This is like one reason why we need a home in LA.
I was going to
Do you-
say,
do you
reminder, we
know-
live in Colorado.
Very short
slight
growing
issue.
season.
We have a very small growing season.
No, but so Nick and I feel like we've sort of decided we want to
LA?
live between we want to live between LA and the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No,
Because we're always going to have we're always going to ski. And this small town community you cannot replicate.
No, you can't. It's
Actually, let's touch on that because
As much
how
as
many
it-
years have you been up here?
I've been here 6.5 years.
Which is so crazy. I know you're closest to the Denver market. So M is like, let me paint you a picture. We will post her on the Instagram. Just this fiery red hair, always has a swag, always a vibe.
God.
No, I mean, but seriously, like anyone who knows you, you're like, wait, what? Like, what is she doing? Because she's straight out of fucking Brooklyn or LA or these like underground scenes. And you're like, what are you doing tucked away in this tiny little mountain town? But these towns are addicting
I know.
in a good way.
I
But it's
know.
just very, I don't know. Like, because you're originally from where?
I moved here from the Dallas area, which is its own scene within itself. Oh, yep. Pour it up.
Word up.
I always forget you're from Texas.
Yeah, I know. Which honestly, okay, this is also a very niche comment, but I take that as a compliment because up here, people being from Texas is like the worst. And
It's the
so
ultimate derogatory
it's
statement.
like-
No one knows that.
the ultimate shade. And so the fact that like people forget that I'm from Dallas is so sick to me, but like it's also like Dallas and Austin and Fort Worth are pretty sick. And so yeah, I moved here from there and I don't remember where I was going with
Well,
this.
wait. Mountain
Mountain
Town.
towns.
But I want to say I didn't mean that like in a shady way. I actually like Texas a lot,
Oh.
but you just don't seem like a Texan,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, I grew up in Oregon till I was 9. So I think that's part of it.
Like Portland area?
Yeah, Corvallis.
Couldn't.
Close.
Yeah, sure.
Hour-ish from Portland. And then Dallas area.
Yeah, we finished that liter of wine, Francesca.
Have some of the
a liter?
No, have some of the Sauv Blanc. It's good.
Here's the thing. I've found out recently, because my body's very sensitive, I can handle like 6 shots of hard liquor, 3 glasses of wine, and I'm like incapacitated the next day. We've seen. I feel great right now, but like it has me a little worrisome that we just drink a liter.
That's a liter?
I mean,
A normal wine bottle is 750 ml, 4 glasses.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, that one's like, it's like rounder. That's a whole liter. It's 5 glasses.
It's okay.
Well, happy MLK Day. We must thank
It's
our
okay.
leaders.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest joke I've ever made in my life.
Getting back to the topic of this podcast is grooming. Nick and I got our nails done. You guys,
Obsessed.
That's where we were. So
if
here's
y'all
what's up.
haven't seen, I loved Nicodemus black tips, but to be honest, Francesca's hot pink tips, it was so like, I don't even know how to describe it. When I saw that photo, I was just like,
With the mountains in the background.
no, you were at the
Oh, me
bar.
at the wine bar?
At Carboy, yeah.
Mhm.
And I literally saw the photo and I was like, yo, it was so, I don't want to say the word trendy. It was just like,
I felt like a real influencer.
it was so good. It was so spot on that it was like influential. Like it was
Ooh,
just like,
thank you.
I was just like, I want to go get that.
Okay, well, I loved my nails. I'll tell you about how mine felt. You know, I broke them off the next day, but it's fine because, you know, the universe just sends you messages. But Nick, he was messaging me while trying to text me from work, telling me how much he hated them.
It like actually pissed me off. I was like, my fingers are disabled.
One of my favorite moments also that same evening, we're all in a group text and our friend Kaylee said, Nick, how's the black tips? And I lost my mind. And that's
Oh, because you didn't know I got black tips?
I didn't fully know the context, and that's how I knew he got black tips. And then I knew the struggle.
Wait, I was actually serving someone at the restaurant, and I was like, oh yeah, because they asked me, oh, what'd I do today? And I was like, well, I just got this manicure, and it was this girl. She goes, I fucking see that.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, no, I have black tips on right now. And I'm trying to like, press like enter in orders to the, the computer. And I'm like, tap, 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 tap.
It's so bitchy. It's such a bitchy lifestyle, and I love it.
What was the reference you made? Like Tyra Banks?
Okay, so in what's the life size?
Oh,
Tyra Bank life
no.
size. And Tyra Bank is tapping
at the
on the
computer.
computer. Yeah, that's how I felt all day, just trying to text people, like
Just
tap,
typing
tap, tap, tap,
nonsensical words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should watch that movie soon.
No, we need
Everyone
to. We
should
should
watch
it
that
tonight.
movie soon.
I don't know if we make Em finish this bottle of Sauv Blanc. She's
We're
sleeping
watching
here.
it tonight.
Okay, but so I had these long nails. I was so excited about them. But then I started this new job at this like nice restaurant in town.
Mm-hmm.
I would say fine dining,
Downstairs.
but I guess
Which is so ironic to me.
I
It's really nice downstairs. Can I say ratchet upstairs?
yeah, it's connected to like kind of a ratchet bar. The people there were lovely. It was fine. Just like when you just like don't fit in. Like here's the thing. Like I'm not really about like serving anymore. We all know like listen, hard labor not for me. Bowing down not for me.
Not my favorite moment.
No. Someone asked me to sweep. I pretended not to hear them. So I feel like that was the first wrong foot I got off on there. I kept pretending like I just didn't hear them.
You're like, I don't.
They were like, "Can you go sweep that area?" And I would just turn around like like the phone
busy,
rang.
so busy.
This is my first day, and I was like, and it's good money. It's fine dining in a tourist town. Like, great, $300-$400 a night. Everyone should be happy for this job. Listen, this is when I knew the job wasn't for me. So they asked me to carry a tray upstairs to the ratchet bar of chicken wings, which, Nick, I feel like I'm being followed around by chicken wings. Remember when one fell out of our old couch?
I do. Fuck the chicken wings.
Listen, so they're like, hey,
Bad omen.
you have 9 orders of chicken wings to carry up to the bar. And they put them all on a tray in heavy ceramic plates and had sent me up a flight of stairs. First of all, 1, hard labor. Second,
Heavy.
I'm not built for this. I'm athletic, but like, no, thank
Like,
you.
am I at the gym?
No, I'm not squatting.
We're not exactly like we're not at the gym. Like
I did not sign up to go
I'm
to
at
the
work.
gym.
No, and I'm not coordinated enough for that. This is terrifying. So I have to go from the basement kitchen up a flight of stairs to the upstairs bar with my 9 trays of chicken wings. And I was like, listen, like this isn't for me.
You're like, this is a lot.
But so anyway, I'm sweating. I get up the stairs. I drop the chicken wings off. Thank God. Well, someone had to help me because like there's this man there who's like 8 feet tall. He's the bouncer. You probably know if I said his name, but like,
Sick.
he helped me. He was like, oh my God, why do they have you carrying that? And I was like, I don't know. I'm a bartender, but like they have me food run training tonight, but I guess this is
It's like hazing. We're back
no,
in
it felt like
college.
hazing. And so I'm like, okay, so I needed a moment to myself. So I'm like, I'm going to go through the outdoor stairs back down to the restaurant.
Nice.
Well, like I fell down the stairs because I was so winded from the train carrying. Because I did like a full like cartoon, feet above my head. I fell down. I felt my fingertips come off.
Oh my God.
I thought it was going to look down and all my fingers,
just like
nails
blood.
were going to be gone.
Just like bleeding.
No, it just broke off 3 of the nails. But then, so I'm in a new restaurant. These are salt of the earth people. They're hanging out. They're just making their living. And I'm just like, I broke a nail. Not 1 nail.
Drama.
3 nails.
Can I just
Drama.
can I touch on that?
I
Like-
would have loved this scenario. I'd be
Okay.
like, drama.
Mama, did you hear that? That new chick just fell down the stairs? No, but I feel like the classic way to make fun of women is like, oh my God, I broke a nail. But it's like, listen, I've had tips before.
Yo, that shit hurts.
That
though.
shit
it's
hurts.
not like
Angie paid for it.
it's hello.
Angie looked dumb.
Hello.
It's insult and injury at the same time.
It's
Men,
not like shut the
step
fuck up. It's not something subtle. It hurts.
No, it extremely hurts. I was traumatized. And then Nick's like, I look ratchet now. I'm upset. I just paid $95 for this full set. And here I am, and I'm supposed to be serving food, and I'm just like, can you guys like believe this just happened to me? And no one cares.
Honestly, I wish I was working there just so I could be like sympathize with you.
No, I think everyone just was like, this bitch thinks she's gonna work here and thinks she's gonna fit in, and instead I'm crying over my nails. Anyway, so that's how I knew it wasn't for me.
We've moved on from that.
Yeah,
job.
so I promptly quit that job. Oh, Nick went to the bathroom. It's just us.
He just, for context, I just want to say he just slid in his socks across the floor. It was a vibe.
like risky business.
Like risky business.
Tom Cruise.
Straight
It
to
was a vibe.
El
I was like,
Baño.
wow, Nick's really.
No, he's gone. He said bye.
Yeah.
I have switched to Sauvignon Blanc, and
We laugh.
we love it. I feel like it has big banana flavor notes. Em, would you agree?
Sorry.
I think she was texting. She wasn't paying attention.
No, I was trying to Google how to say banana in Spanish.
I don't know. I lived in Spain for years. I don't know how I don't know how
I
to
just
say
asked
banana.
Nicodemus how you say banana in Spanish, and he goes, I don't know, nana.
I mean, I don't know. All right, so we're back, everyone. Thank you for a quick little intermish. Francesca, you quit that job that you fell down the stairs at, and then you also got another job.
Listen. One of my favorite things is
Platanos.
bratanos. What, like
Platanos.
platanos. Like plantains, but platanos.
Plantains, platanos.
Is bananas in Spanish,
Circling
everyone?
back per your last email.
Per your last email. No, have you seen that meme going around right now that's like, how do I say like, yo, you're fucking off your rocker, like in business speak? And there seems to be a disconnect.
I don't think I've seen that yet.
That's how you say like you're fucking nuts. Like
I love
we're
that.
not. Listen, there seems to be a
We
disconnect.
have a disconnect. Honestly,
That's how you say like, yo,
Heavy
you
shade.
sound cray.
that's heavy. That's like fire shade. I love that.
I'm one of the biggest reasons that I'm so happy that I'm not in like a true corporate environment. Like it's been almost 3 years for me. And yes, like I still work in social media. I still consider myself a professional, but as a consultant, you can be yourself. They know who they're hiring. They know what you're good at. When you work in like an agency social media space, you're allowed to be like funky. But like I hated working in a corporate space where I had to pretend to be someone I wasn't.
There's so much jargon.
Yeah. Like I couldn't be like
what are you saying?
I would
Like,
love to be able to like if I was your social media person for whatever business you had, I'd be like, the fuck is this?
love.
Or like exactly like
Straight to
wait,
the point.
I'm obsessed. I love this. Like whatever's happening here, I'm into it. Or like absolutely not. Like I just got like trash vibes. And you'd be like, great, wonderful.
I'd be like, honestly, respect.
yeah.
Let me work from there.
But like
It's-
these companies where you have to pretend to use these words that we would never naturally
It's a fraudulent
use.
vibe. It's a fraudulent vibe.
I would definitely agree with the fraudulent vibe, but I've always said, and this is actually, I think we said on the last podcast, or I don't know, but one of my least favorite words are panties, but I actually do know. I know what my least favorite word is. It's professionalism, because the whole word is stupid.
You're like,
It's
what does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. And I know we know that it means something, but it's just
It's
like,
subjective.
professionalism. And hey there, I saw that you read my last email, and I was just thinking maybe we could,
Link up.
Link.
Circle back.
It's like, say what you want to say. Like, are you mad? Like, what's going on?
Or like, just, I don't know, be fucking real with me. You know, I used to work for a nonprofit that was so sick, but it was just like hyper professional, which I guess is good. But like at the same time, I was like, are you actually mad or what?
Nick, the vibe, like the value statement of Nick and Mai's company is going to be like, yo, just fucking be yourself. Say what you feel. Be true. Like, we're going to be like, no fraudulent vibes. That's the company value statement.
Say what you want to say. Be real.
Really, though? Which I feel like some of the best companies I've been able to do social media for in the past have sort of in a little bit more professional way have just said that. Like, be good people.
Yeah.
Be fucking real.
Just like, yeah, be a person.
Say what you mean. You don't need to cover it up with all these words. Okay, but anyway, you guys. Yeah, no. I got the tips, and then within the same 2 hours. So at first I was like, oh my goodness. I need money. Like, I know I'm very employable in this town, and we have our social media, and I'm doing it. Like, I feel like I have a lot of irons in the fire, but nothing that's paying me that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, we just put down a ridiculous amount of money on this apartment. Like, I need cash. So I'm sitting at work and I'm talking to this because like everything, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
I'm sitting at lunch or I was working and I was like, the beer rep in town, his name's Christian. I go, yo, Christian, I need a fucking job. Like I need fast cash. What am I doing? He goes, names the nightclub in town, knows the owner. He goes, let me give him a call. Gives him a call. Goes, yeah, go down an hour. Told him you're one of the best bartenders in town. Told him he should hire you. Go down and talk to him right now. I go, oh, okay. Because that's how things happen.
It's just
that's how anything happens.
conversation. Yeah.
People were like, how the F did you get a job there? Which, to backpedal a little bit, Nick, where did I just get a job? Without saying the name and with just describing what it is.
You got a job at the nightclub of Breckenridge.
South Side.
South Side. It's at the south of town, and it's the rowdiest, the loudest. It's very renowned and infamous, but also pretty famous as well. And it's not normal that... Actually, it's very unusual that a small town like Breckenridge has such a rowdy nightlife bar that is called Cecilia's.
Cece's.
Yeah, and she's been around for a while. Like, I grew up partying at this bar because the reason Nick and I ended up in Breckenridge, which people always ask us, is because our parents vacationed here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how we ended up here. So
I love how much I'm learning tonight.
Yeah. So our parents we would do ski trips every couple of years, and we would do them all over. And every couple of years we would end up in Breckenridge, and it was like our favorite spot. Mm-hmm. So that was when Nick and I were like, LOL, should we just like move to our favorite,
LOL,
like just our favorite ski spot? Cause like when you go on a ski vacation with your family, it's the most fun, but we always just had like a sense that we were going to end up here or just like have a time here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that because I just kind of felt like I always loved it. And I've been on a lot of vacations in my life and I've been to a lot of places I really like, but there was something about Breckenridge that just kind of made me go, you know what? I want to spend more time
It's
here.
an energy.
No, we wanted like a moment. I always said like since I was like 12, I think that was like when I started snowboarding when I was 10. And when I switched to snowboarding, it was like I wanted to put the bumper stickers on my car. Like I was just like, oh, like I'm like a snow bunny now, like whatever. I was like, at some point in my life, I want to have like a moment where I'm just like
a local moment.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna be a total little snowboard chick. Mm-hmm. And we did it. But now I'm working at the local nightclub. Mm-hmm. You guys, no one could have seen this coming.
I think it's so chaotic. It's so funny. Not that the bar is chaotic. It's just like Francesca starts working at a nightclub. the nightclub. And I just absolutely love this moment for you. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
I go into work at 7 p.m. and I get off work at 5 a.m.
I work at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, when do you work? Like, I work tomorrow.
When do you work? 7 p.m.
Yeah, I go in at 7. I get up at 5 a.m. But I'm doing that just Fridays and Saturdays. And I've actually never had more fun.
Stacking cash.
Stacking.
Can I tell a story?
Yes, please.
Last weekend, I've been to Cece's many, many times. And last weekend, Nicodemus texts me and we're trying to make plans. He tells me he's at Cecilia's, Francesca's bartending. And I leave my house probably like 11:30. Classic. And
Classic.
late night. And I told him, I was like, I knew it was like a very popular night. It was, what was it, MLK weekend?
Yeah, so the Sunday of MLK, so like the Saturday, basically.
Yes. And I was like, Nicodemus, I'm not waiting in a line. I live here. And he was like, you don't have to wait in a line. You just walk up to the front and you tell them that you know me. And I was like, honestly, for my social anxiety, I hate that, but I'll do it. And so I did it. And when I get to the door, the bouncer, I thought he was going to yell at me, but he like sees me walking up and he was just like, what's up? And I was like, oh, like I'm here with Nicodemus. And he was like, oh, with Nicodemus, like you're VIP, like no problem. Like takes my ID immediately.
Oh my gosh.
Which, by the way, if anyone knows, on Cece's on a weekend, it's literally an hour and a half wait and it's $50 cover.
Like,
so M just tramps this up, cuts the whole line.
Like, trust, I will not pay money. Like, I love them, but like I'm there all the time. My friends work there. My friends DJ there. I'm not paying. I'm there to like help bring the vibe. And
no, it's true, but you do bring the vibe.
I
You're
mean,
not
I
just
try.
like some drunk tourist. You're like,
No.
You're leading the dance floor. You're truly bringing the vibe.
I'm there to dance. I'm there, like we're partying. Let's go. And so yeah, he like, and the people next to me, they were like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't know. And and I just give him my ID and he lets me in. And then he's like telling me to tell Nicodemus hello. And I'm like, okay, sick. And then I get in and then I find Nick like right around the corner. And it was just cinematic, to be honest.
That was a cinematic night. I felt
It was.
You were sober. You were only drinking.
Oh, like I have told everybody about my soda water with lemon. I was obsessed that night. It tasted so good. I didn't want alcohol. It was amazing.
Well, because here's the thing, like no one knows this. Like Cecilia's is a late night party crazy club. Like I would say what we sell the most of is Red Bull vodkas. But during the day, like we are a fancy, fancy bar. That's how I got hired. Because I'm like the one bartender on the roster that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But from my knowledge, I'm hired because I am like the classically trained, like fancy bartender. And he wants to like bring more of that to it.
I need to come during the day. I love that.
Yeah, no, Monday nights. My happy hour night. You guys,
Nick,
2 for $1
go.
martinis, we're hanging out.
Let's go. Should we go?
No, because it's this like old artsy bar. You guys, is it not like
It's like it's the setup of the bar. It's very cool. Like
It is cool.
it is. Like when you look at like the aesthetics of everything, it's cool.
They did a great job. It is a place you'd want to have a martini at. Not just at like because I feel like a lot of times when you want to go get a nice martini, and this is kind of my problem with Aspen, is like you would go to the bar of a very nice restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, and that's why I love cities more, where they always have that bar with only 5 seats in it that will give you a craft cocktail, and that's it.
Yeah.
well, I will say Cece's is a cigar bar, first and foremost.
True. So they have a cigar like
We have like a
lock-off room.
huge
Yeah.
humidor room. And the whole place has a huge ventilation system to smoke cigars and cigarettes inside.
Yeah.
But since Breckenridge is they just shut it down. Breck's like, if no one
Does
knows,
anyone
like
go in that cigar bar?
in the humidor? No,
Like
we
in
sell
that-
cigars
in
all
that
night.
room. That's
Yeah.
a vibe.
No, we do, but we just can't smoke inside only because Breckenridge. And if anyone knows Breckenridge, we have the lowest obesity rate of any county in the entire U.S. It's a very
Basically,
healthy,
everyone's hot.
everyone's hot, fit, and healthy. But what's annoying is like, dude, a pack of cigarettes here costs like $25.
Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
absurd.
Yeah.
We put such a tax on it because they want everyone to be healthy, but like,
Yeah.
and then they said no smoking indoors, even though we have the
Oh.
coolest, most ventilated like area for it. So it lost them like a lot of business because it should be the upstairs bar should be like a sexy little cigar bar.
It's a cigar bar. Yeah.
We'll bring it back. Nick's friends with the mayor.
Yeah, and I love smoking cigars.
Let me just set the scene. So it's my first weekend there. I start working Friday at 7 p.m. I get thrown in. Nuts, crazy. So many people like paying $50, like all, like craziest experience like of my life, which I loved because I hate being bored.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm in a fancy restaurant making good money, like I can't be bored. I don't want to be there. Like if I'm not making money, like don't sign me up. So I love that it's like I show up, there's DJs, we're hanging out, we're all just there to make good money and like go through it. But then living in the mountains, we have supply chain issues.
Cups.
Yeah. So all of the US has supply chain issues right now, but in the mountains, like we have one highway from Denver.
I-70.
And if you want to follow a funny Instagram account, it's I-70 things. It's my favorite.
Oh, it's
Shout
worth
out.
it. Totally worth it.
And because sometimes like it just gets shut down. So when you live up here,
Yeah.
like sometimes we don't have food in our grocery stores. There's no liquor. So this weekend we were starting a Sunday on MLK weekend with no vodka, no tequila, and no cups.
I didn't know there was no vodka, no tequila.
Yeah, and no Red Bull. So the vodka and tequila we sourced from other bars, like we like borrowed. And of course, no fault of our own. But then we ran out of cups. We almost had to close the bar.
I get a text. I'm still at home, 11 p.m. I'll go out, but like it's going to be like late. And I get a text at like 11:15. And I was telling Francesca I was coming out and she was like, "Can you bring cups?" I was like, "You got it."
I'm like, hey, the biggest nightclub in Breckenridge doesn't have cups. I'm about to start washing solo cups to give to the people. And Nick hangs out with like the wife of like one of the owners of like the other club in town. Nick shows up with, what did you show up with, Nick?
I showed up with solo cups, and I was like, excuse me, someone ordered some cups, and I'm cutting the line, like, excuse me, out of my way, excuse me, I have cups,
coming
cups.
through.
Yeah, cups coming through. And I walk in, and everyone's like, oh my God.
No, and then Nick gives the cups to us. So I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. And then he told me later he got pulled away to work the door.
Yes, that is how I got in.
Yeah.
I think we're circling back.
What happened was they had to bounce some people out, and they needed the door guy's help. And so the door guy went and did his job as a bouncer. And since they like know me, they know that I'm brothers with Francesca, and they were like, Nick, no one gets in, just so you know. And I'm like, oh, you want to work the door? They're like, no one gets in. And so I'm like working this door. And then like the guy was like, okay, but like you can have like your friends that come in. I'm like, okay, well, so I'm just like up at the door, you know,
Clocked
working
in.
it, clocked in. Dude, yeah, I brought cups. I pretty much worked there. And I get it. I was kind of like, oh my God, all these guys were like, hey, bro, can I just get in? And I'm just like, oh my God.
was a rowdy night.
So, it was a very rowdy night. And so I made a joke to the door guy, like once he was back working the door, like later in the night, I said, like, oh my God, should I just start like working the door sometimes? And he just kind of like kind of scoffed. and was like, well, do you like getting punched in the face? And I said, no, I've never been
We
in a
don't like
fight.
physical assault.
I know. I like, but that's what you got to do as a door guy.
I
Like,
know.
drunk men will hit you, and I'm just not a baboon.
No.
Like
Like
what
I
do
will catch a case. Like,
yeah, no, I've never hit anyone. I've never like put my hand in a fist and like hit someone on the head.
have.
Oh, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Tell the story.
It was in Dallas.
Back in Texas.
Ooh, circling back to Texas.
Circling back to Texas.
It was outside of one of my favorite clubs, BJ's. It was a gay nightclub in Dallas. We used to go, my friend Gabriel, shouts out Gabriel, on Tuesdays to Trashy Tuesdays. And it was just so fun. They played the best music. They had dancers. It was so fun. Outside, at the end of the night, outside, we were with our other best friend, Alex, a.k.a. Trife. I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is that suddenly someone was coming for Alex. And that's all I needed to know. And I remember punching this person straight in the tits.
And you threw the punch.
I did. And they, like, it was like a whole thing. And their friends were trying to pull him back. And then my other friend Gabriel was like getting involved, and all I remember is that we were throwing hands and we won.
All she remembers is she won.
She won.
And they turned around, and that's my legacy.
I love it. Wait, before I forget. Wait, did you have something to say?
I was going to say, and you won. That's your legacy.
It's my legacy.
And you moved from Texas to Breckenridge.
Dallas to Summit County.
You said, I have enough.
You're like, I'm done
History
here in
here.
Dallas. I'm closing my chapter.
All right. I don't know what part of any of this is going to make it on because Nick's the editing guru. But
love
I will
that.
say that one thing that I'm so excited to talk to Em about is that you do ecstatic dance.
Yes.
In Breckenridge.
Yes.
And this is your hardest thing and you're going to hate it. But how would you describe it and what exactly is it? And why is it a thing? Why should we care?
So we're ecstatic dance. We're doing it throughout Summit County. We have been hosting it at the Pad in Silverthorne. The hardest thing with ecstatic dance is describing it until you experience it. It is, so I DJ it. I play the music. I like set the vibe. One of my best friends, Kat Carter, she kind of leads the group and helps everyone feel comfortable and feel vulnerable. It is like a safe space to dance however you feel. Some people like drop into like a meditative state. Some people are like dancing, just like so expressive. It's just like a platform for creativity, essentially. And it's really fun. And it like makes you feel like you've grown after you've been there.
Interesting. I've done things like,
It's sober though, right?
It's a sober event. That's part of it too. We normally do it in the mornings. We serve coffee, we serve tea. It's a sober event. It's done all over the country. Very popular spots are LA and New York.
Classic.
There is one coming to Denver in March that Kat and I are actually going to go to for like market research. Yeah, it's a sober event in the morning. You wake up, you dance.
Francesca, we should do it next time.
No, I'm so into it. Not a lot of people know this, but one of the biggest reasons I moved to New York City, the third time I moved to New York City, was because of the sober scene.
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking at the time, and I go through periods, not for any like issues with drinking, just because when I surface from it, of like the fun, the normalness, I just love it. And I want to connect to people who don't go out and drink. And I would go to a lot of like cacao ceremonies.
Yes.
Which, if you don't know what cacao is, it's like the purest form of chocolate, basically.
Yeah.
But there's such like spiritual, meditative, like almost plant medicine effects.
We're
of
going to be
cacao.
incorporating that at some point.
Yeah, so we would do like cacao blessing ceremonies. Basically, to be totally honest with anyone hearing this for the first time, you drink some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
But there are very
There's like
crazy...
a vibe with it.
No,
though.
there is though.
Yeah.
With pure chocolate and pure cacao, there is a vibe. And then you just hang out and then everyone just dances, but no one's drinking. There's no alcohol available. And some of the craziest, most fun free nights of my life in New York City were through these type of events.
I love that.
And so I'm sure the same type of people are connected with ecstatic dance.
Yeah. It's like people want to party, but they don't always want to drink. And it's like we're trying to like provide that space. And it's really cool to see who shows up.
There's a movement in New York City, and gosh, I forgot what it was. But huge things. People would dress up like they were going to raves, whatever.
Yeah.
And they would do it before work on like Monday. Yes.
Okay.
Daybreaker.
Daybreak.
Follow me on
That's
Instagram, and I follow them. Like I've met them all.
That's who's coming to Denver in March. Who Kat and I are going to for market research.
Perfect. I know exactly who they are.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we should definitely get involved with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely like get involved with that.
No, because
Come with us. It's like March. I'll send you the date. It's like March 3rd or something. Come
no,
with Kat
that's
and
the
I.
weirdest thing with the Saucy Sibz. Like I love alcohol and I love partying. I love wine and I love everything about that. But I also love being sober.
It's nice to take a break and
It's one of my
like
favorite things. And
and,
I
like,
think people should normalize it more.
and like celebrate it. Like we can still dance. We can still party.
if
like,
you
I-
need to be drunk to dance, then you need to get sober
Yeah.
to learn to dance sober.
Like how many times am I going to talk about my soda water and lemon? Like from Sunday night. Loved it. Like still like it's so easy.
We'll
And
do
we-
it. Let's get the matcha company we've been talking to sponsor it.
Ooh, because we love matcha. We love the matcha. And you definitely, you could do like, you could probably do like a cacao ceremony with matcha.
I have more of a connection with matcha than I do cacao.
No, I agree.
Like some people, like cacao sometimes hits me. It's like a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like matcha has always given me that euphoric state.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we connect with this matcha company, we have like a matcha company we've been in talks with for the Saucy Sibz. If we could do an ecstatic dance thing, I think they'd be into it.
Like a trance dance.
No, like
state.
I'm so into them and I really respect them. They're from New York City. I say we do it soon.
Let's down.
Let's dance, let's hang out. You guys, this has been a funny episode. I'm
You
here for it.
guys come dance.
We need feedback because we've been giving you friends, we've been giving you us, we've been giving you just stories, we've been giving you hangouts.
Like I'm literally, if you guys could see, I'm like posted up on the couch. Okay. Here to hang.
Wait, should we go out in Frisco?
Frissy.
Just Fristy for like a drink?
Should we go to the Uptown or like what's
Co-Bar.
popping right now?
Co-Bar.
Moose Jaw? Oh, no. I'm always, you know what? Take me to Co-Bar. Down.
Kobar. We're going to Kobar.
We're going to Co-Bar. Bye.
Well, okay. We have to end this podcast. No. No, I'm just kidding. Well, Em, thank you so much for coming on to our podcast, our
Honestly,
show.
obsessed. So happy
Well,
to
yeah.
hang.
Awesome. And we're going to be doing ecstatic dance now. We're going to tell the people how it is.
Yes.
And we'd love to have you on another time.
Everyone, if you hear of ecstatic dance, just go.
Just
it might
do it.
sound scary, but just go.
It might sound like a lot of women
It might
doing
sound-
yoga.
yeah.
But no, just do it.
Just do it. Just see what happens.
I'm here for it. We're doing it. Yes. Nikki handed me the microphone. I didn't know what to do.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say something. All right. Well, chef's kiss, guys. Let's do
Oh.
Give me a little
Mwah.
cheers.
Thanks. We need to know how you feel about all of these different formats.
Should we do like a clink in the mic?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
I just got to go wine glasses from Carboy, which is the winery I work for now. And we'll talk about it later.
Barrels.
We're getting
Side story, we're getting barrels for end tables and maybe a bar cart. It's a vibe.
Anyway, I
Trust.
went there and I got 2 bottles of wine and like 3 to-go glasses. It's like, listen, I'm gonna need some wine glasses too. They're like, Francesca, you can't just stop in here. And I was like, shh.
Like,
We have
it's
a
okay,
podcast
it's
to
okay,
record.
It's okay. It's okay. We're recording a podcast.
All right, cheers. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
XOXO.